think it takes a lot of arrogance and audacity to not even have to look like yourself, to walk around with enhancements that does not depict what you actually look like a lot of the time, and then have the audacity to say who is more or less attractive. That does not make any sense. The average woman is more attractive than the average man is a very unserious conversation. Not only is it unserious, it's also very unbalanced, because when you really think about it, which you really shouldn't have to think that deep into it, I think that it's common sense, but apparently not. Men pretty much have to show up as they are. They have to show up with their face. They have to show up with their hair, until as of recently, which very few men, in my opinion, are out here wearing male lace fronts. So for the most part, with a man, what you see is what you get. They can't really cover up much, which is why, in my opinion, it takes more confidence for them, because they quite literally cannot do much to change their appearance outside of what, grow a beard. Even in growing a beard, the beard is still theirs. It's still very much their hair on their face. Men, for the most part, are very much natural. On the other hand, women, we are able to change every single thing about us that we do not like, and nobody can judge us and nobody can say anything about it. Even if we change our entire face, nobody can say anything, because they're not allowed to. So a more fair comparison, you would have to take, I don't know, 10 men, 10 women. Tell the men, hey, take your hats off. Tell the women, hey, take off your hair, wash off your eyebrows, take off your lashes, wash off your face, stand next to each other, and then let's compare who is more attractive.
That's not gonna work. It's not gonna work for so many reasons that women, I know women hate her right now. The average man can do something to boost his looks, right? But is what extent do you actually care? So it's gonna have to dig into whatever your insecurities are. Because technically, the average man got a gut. Most men don't have six packs. If you have a six pack, you're in the top percent of men, right? So if we just say, just get in shape, if we wanted to alter our bodies, all men have to do is take steroids. If all men just say, you know what, I'm doing some steroids, by itself, without any working out, you would still build muscle. This is without working out. If all men just did that, all men would start looking good just for doing that, which I don't recommend. I think it's stupid, but just saying, if men were so insecure and felt that they had to alter their body the same way women alter their bodies when they get the BBLs, or if they do anything like that of that nature, they can do that. A lot of men don't have hair hats, like she said. A lot of men don't have certain things that they could fix up and everything. So men come basically natural. If women come basically natural, it will humble a lot of women, but they still will be more attractive, because men want more sex than women want sex. If women were more sexual creatures, like even more than men, then men would just be more attractive, because they'll be chasing men to have sex. The only reason why we say that women are more attractive is because men want sex. It's not even the fact that they just more attractive, because you can find a hideous woman, hideous in every aspect. She won't be a virgin, and she'll still have men knocking down her door. That doesn't mean she looks good. That just means that men want to have sex. So I think that's where people get it mixed up, that the average woman looks better than the average man. I don't know about that. Especially plain, it's like plain, without anything on you, without no BBLs. You know, I look disgusting, but without no BBLs, without no long hair and weaves or makeup and all that stuff, without anything, just plain Jane walking out. If you really think about it, it will match a little bit more, but it's only based on who wants to have more sex, who wants to hook up with the other gender more. If women was like that, then we would just say men are more attractive, because it's more women chasing men. In fact, if you really think about it, the men that are the most attractive are men that have money. That's the most attractive men. So if one man was a multimillionaire and he was average looking, and another man had a great body, but he was poor, I can guarantee you the rich man will get way more girls. It's not even close than the guy with a decent body, but he broke. It wouldn't even be close. So in that case, then who's more attractive? Who's more attractive, the rich man or the ugly woman? The one that's fat and sloppy and nobody wants. Who's more attractive in that? It's going to be the man. It's because more women will want to be with him than the men want to be with that woman, especially if it's just for, sex.
Why are we doing that in the first place? That doesn't make any sense. But I think it takes a lot of arrogance and audacity to not even have to look like yourself, to walk around with enhancements that does not depict what you actually look like a lot of the time, and then have the audacity to say who is more or less attractive. That does not make any sense. And at first I was like, I don't understand why they do that, but yes I do. Yes, I do. You guys do it because you want to be championed and encouraged by the women, because y'all cheer each other on in a lot of your foolishness and your delusions. I understand that's how you guys work, whatever. But it doesn't make any sense. And y'all get on here and y'all say things, and to normal, regular people with regular minds, y'all don't realize how stupid you sound when you say certain things. It doesn't make any sense. And quite frankly, it actually doesn't even need to be a conversation. We don't know who looks better than who do, because we can't tell. And even if we could, we are attracted to men and men are attracted to women. If we're honest, I am more attracted to men because I like men. So I think that men are more attractive because I'm actually attracted to them.
If we was to reverse the logic of whatever I hear the women say, if men said the same thing about women, they would just say all the men are gay. If men took the same logic as women and just reversed it, to them it don't make any sense. Like if a woman is praising other women and how women look so good and she look good and men are ugly, you're gay. That's just what it is. Just say you're a lesbian. You like lesbians. It's just what you are. You're lesbian. Because that's the only way you can find them more attractive than the men that you see. Because technically you're supposed to be attracted to men. In order to be attracted to men, you have to be attracted to everything about a man, just like a man would have to be attracted to everything about a woman. So therefore, it's like you like women because you find women more attractive than men. That would automatically make you gay, right? At minimum, bisexual. So technically, with that logic, a lot of these women are just gay. Lesbians.
Whatever, because I was about to go into something else and I ain't gonna go there. Yeah, this conversation is dumb. Let's wrap it up until y'all want to start being honest.
If men was to just say, you know what, I'm gonna start doing something about myself. It doesn't matter. This is where it gets crazy. If they take an attractive man, right? You get an attractive man and you make him the standard for all men across the board. So let's get this attractive man that most women will find super duper attractive. You give him the height, you give him the looks, you give him the eye color, you give him nose, whatever you want to give this man. Let's say that all men look just like that. Women would still go and say that men are unattractive because whatever they're going to find attractive is no longer going to be that standard man that they did find attractive before when he was the only one. So if all men were in shape, if all men had money, if all men did everything the same, they would still try to go to the top percent of whomever it is. If all men were millionaires, then they would not really pay attention to the millionaires. They would be looking for the billionaires. They want this small group of men, and those men will automatically get more than what the other men get. The same way like these men can feed you, but if these men can feed you in anything you want, then you'll be like, I'm going to go with this man. But if this man can feed you anything you want all over the world, then they're going to want to go with that man. So a man's attraction is just basically based on of him being the top percent of whatever is there. It's not just solely on the way he looks and the way he moves. That's a big difference from a woman being the top percent, because men, I personally believe, are just more decent people when it comes to relationships or anything like that, because they're less scandalous. Men are not looking at every single aspect of you and want you to be perfect. They'll take you as you are and be like, all right, cool. Like a man can have a woman with a flat butt. She got a flat, but he'll still like her and it'd be just fine. And you're like, all right, cool. She got that. I might look at big butts over there, but she got a flat one. She might not have no chest, no boobs. And he'd be like, all right, still, I like I like that one. That's my girl. And he'll protect her and do everything in the world for that woman, no matter what, even though she doesn't look like the rest of the women. Even if he could look at women on a daily basis that physically look better than her, he'll still be like, nope, this is mine right here. And he'll keep that. That's not going to happen with a woman. So women will look at that and be like, oh, well, you're just an unattractive person. No. You just like the top percent of whatever you can like. And if that goalpost switch and shifts, and the goalpost is like it's not just six pack and all men have six, then it's not like, oh, now most men are attractive because they have this six pack and they have a little money to the name. No, you're going to just shift it and be like, all right, well, six pack is basic now. I need something extra on top of that. And that's exactly why God shouldn't listed them.